Hello, I'm Maya Andreasen, and continuing with our rigging fundamentals lecture, we are continuing to go over constraints. In this case, we are going to be going over aim constraints. So, an aim constraint constrains an object's orientation so that the object aims at other objects. It's often used in iRigging. So we are going to go over how to use an aim constraint to rig an eye. And as you can see here, it's already set up on this eyeball. I have a control. And I set the aim constraint on the eye geo. There are no joints right now. It's just the constraint. And as you can see, I'm moving my control around in translate X, Y, and Z, and it is moving the eyeball around. And I can zero everything out as well. So I have another eye and another control visible here, and we're going to work on this. And so this one here I'm going to make invisible so we are not distracted. So what I did was initially I created in a control, and let's just rename it so that it's named properly. So it is CC for control curve, and it's on the left hand side, and it is my eye. So I created a circle, a NURB circle, and then I basically rotated it, because when you initially create NURB circles, they are flat against the grid. And then I moved it in front of the eye, basically kind of snapped it to the center of the eye and moved it forward. Now, if you want to know, Maya, how do you snap things to the center of an eyeball or any kind of geo? What you would do is show your local rotation axis, and that will allow you to snap things to it. So the eyeball here is on a layer, but so if I select this and I hit V, you can actually snap it to that local rotation axis there. Okay, and when you're finished, you would turn that local rotation axis off. And then I'm going to hit 6 because I have a texture on this eye, simple texture, just so it's no longer transparent. It's fully opaque. And then you can just move it in front of your geo. So that's how you can center an object to an actual piece of geometry, just to show its local rotation axis. Okay, so let's get to the aim constraint. So we are actually going to make sure first off that our control has all its transformations frozen, and it does. And you would go to modify freeze transformations to do that. I also like deleting history as well, and that's under edit, delete by type history. I do have history on my shelf, so I typically click it on my shelf. So with our control selected, we are going to select our eye geometry, and then we are going to go to constrain aim options box. And this is, let's just reset all of our settings. Now you'll see that I had set the settings differently. So let's just hit apply with the default settings and see what happens. And as you can see, it rotates my eyeball away from the control, and we don't want that. So what that means is we need to change the aim vector so that the aim vector is pointing towards the control. And if we look at the rotation values, so if we hit E, we can see that it would appear that we need to have this rotated in the Y. So let's try that. So we'll have the aim vector as 1 in the Y and hit apply. Oh, that didn't work. So maybe, we need to aim it in the Z. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to put this at 0, and we're going to hit apply. And now that we have aimed our aim vector in the Z, we can see that it is pointing towards the object in front of it, which is what we want. We didn't want to look at it in terms of rotation values. We wanted to look at it in terms of translation values. All right, so now we can close this, and we should be able to move it around. And indeed, we can. So now both of these eyes are movable. I'm going to take this a little bit further, simply because I want to reiterate parenting and hierarchies. So we are going to create another NURBS primitive. We're going to create a circle. We're going to make it big. We're going to rotate it in the X, okay, 90 degrees. I have a Mel script up here that rotates it 90 degrees in the X. You can always go into the channels box over here and rotate it as well. I am going to move it so that it is constrained basically to these two guys. I basically want it to encircle these two circles. So let's constrain it with parent. Oh, come on. I selected it in the wrong order. There we go. So if you select the two small circles here, and then I shift selected my large circle, I made sure to uncheck maintain offset, and I was able to parent constraint, which snaps it smack dab in the middle of these two circles, which is what I wanted. I just wanted to get the position, and now I can get rid of that parent constraint. So this is kind of reiterating some of the other constraints that we've gone over previously. Now that I've done that, I can freeze transformations on this, rotate it in the X so that it is pointing upwards. I'm going to freeze transformations again and delete history. And then I can shape it. So I am going to go into component mode and just kind of make it look like maybe some little spectacles. Let's bring that down just a little bit. Maybe bring this out a bit. It's a little rounder. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be my central control. So we could do this CC eyes, right? Now let's just rename this one properly. Okay, so now that we have our eyes control, what we can do is we can select our two individual eye controls for the left and right eye, and we're going to parent them to the eyes control. So we'll hit P to parent. And now if we select the parent, we can move it around, and as you can see, it moves both of our eyeballs. Because both of our eyeballs are aim constrained to their individual controls, and the controls are now parented to the central eye control. Okay? And you can see that the children of the central eye control are the two small eye controls. So that's just a reiteration of hierarchy. It's a demonstration of aim constraints and a reiteration of parent constraining and how it can be used in many different ways. I'm Maya Andreasen. Until next time, bye-bye.